Okay, so if you remember, spirit gum does not work when it is wet. It only works when it's dry. So we're going to place it right where we want it on Mayla's forehead. Then we're going to take it off, and we're going to pat, pat, pat until it gets tacky, or her skin starts to come up with, there we go, with my finger. And then I know that her skin is ready to accept the piece. Okay, now the thing that is different, if you remember with the 3D cuts, now we start to blend. But with an open head wound, we only want to blend the outsides. We don't want to blend, if you remember, we blend both sides of the worm. We only want to blend the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to blend the outside so it looks like it's coming off of her real skin. Okay, and you want to be very careful around hair because we don't want to get too much of this in the hair. So be careful around the hairline. Okay, and remember, I like to use my fingernail, but there are some of you who like to use the tools, and that's fine too. Okay, and I want to make it look nice and smooth. And then, of course, if you would like to at this stage, is that you can put a layer of the liquid latex if you would like to. Just remember not to get it into the hair because your model will not like you very much if you do this. Now, the next part, okay, so now that we have it all blended and nice and I know that it's not going to come up, now we're going to start filling in this inside because it looks like I've created like a little pool, like a little doughboy pool. And so then we get to start.
Miss, can you like zoom in on this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see that one right there? One of the fun things that you can do with this is you can figure out how many layers you've gone down. If you would like to, you can use that white and make it look like you've gone down to your skull, to the bone. Now, interesting fact, bone, when it is inside of your body, is not white. It's kind of a yellowish color because it's actually alive. So if I ever do that, I put a little of the yellow color in as well. And then I start to take my red and put it around the edges of the open head wound. And you guys remember from when we did the 3D cuts, you want to go up the walls because this is part of the inside of your skin. So that would be nice and red on the inside. I'm so going to give you extra credit for this, just for the record. Okay, and if you would like, you can put a little bit of that dark color in there to make it look like it's nice and deep. And then, of course, putting some blood on. Head wounds are ridiculously bloody, even if they're not very deep. I remember my daughter bumped her head while she was jumping on the bed, and I thought I was going to have to take her to the hospital, and it really wasn't that bad, but it just bled a lot because we have a lot of blood going up to the brain, up to that area. So we do this. We might even want to drip some out. I'll do some around there too. Now, of course, then we want to do some masking, right? We talked about masking. Masking is anything that you do to hide the fact that this is just makeup on her face. And because it's not exactly the same color as her face. So we talked about some different things we can do. Remember, we can do bruising around it. So we could take some of this and, look like she was hit by a pipe or something. And we can bruise around it a bit. And then, of course, blood spatter is always fun. So we can do some blood spatter around as well. And there we have a nice open head wound. And again, just like the 3D cut, except that the worm bit its tail and we only blend from the outside. So have fun making your open head wound.